Tonight, our I-Team is following through on its pay-to-stay investigations. It's a state law that most people don't even know about.
The law allows the state to charge inmates $50 per day for their prison sentence. And this can go on for months, even years beyond their release date.
Listen, I was on the Criminal Justice Committee for years, chaired the Criminal Justice Appropriations Committee, and I did not know this was the law.
The financial burden is one that critics say will make it much harder for those inmates to become productive citizens when they get out.
So I want that person to be a property owner. I want that person to pay property taxes and ad valorem taxes and help pay for the schools and the roads.
I have all of these accomplishments that I have worked so hard to maintain, and to not be given the opportunity to have a realistic, reasonable, obtainable goal to rectify all of that. That is why this is important.
I-Team investigative reporter Kylie McGivern is now discovering not all counties apply this law in the same way.
And new tonight, Kylie brings us back to Citrus County. Watch.
Friday mornings, this
huge turnout today. Let's go this way.
Is where you'll find Samuel Gorman.
I haven't missed a week here in at least 2.5 years. You can find anything here from electronics, Apple products, to shoes.
Searching for the best finds.
Excuse me.
After a fresh restock, $6 items he can resell. For Gorman, this isn't just about the thrill of a good deal.
Come around this way.
It's about supporting his family after coming out of prison.
In like almost one day, I made more than I was making at Denny's.
Turning a profit, this makes sense to him. But there's a part of Gorman's sentence that never did. Incarceration costs that hang over him, he says.
The shoes already pretty much ran through.
Fearing the other shoe could drop if and when the state comes to collect the $50 a day he owes for his 2-year sentence. $40,500.
It's tough when you don't know when they can just come in and take what they want. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to put my family in a situation where they're not getting the food or the rent they need.
Gorman contacted us after seeing Shelby Hoffman's story, a woman who still owes $127,750 on a 7-year prison sentence, even though she was released in less than a year.
To see somebody else with my situation was surprising.
During his time at Okaloosa Correctional Institution for drug-related charges, Gorman struggled to find others with incarceration costs included as part of their sentence.
Finally, somebody else came up to me and was like, "Hey, I heard you got those fees too." He's like, "Oh, you must be from Citrus County. That's just what they do there. If you wanted to appeal it, you had 60 days to appeal it from when you were sentenced." I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know how much time I was going to do.
On top of that,
but I was kind of double charged, and I always thought that was kind of crazy, where I could be at work release giving them a good portion of my check every week to stay there, which is supposed to be for the rent of being there, but then I'm also being charged from the get-go $50 a day.
Gorman says he and Hoffman,
well, we were both sentenced by the same judge.
Judge Rick Howard, who referred us to the state attorney's office. That's when we discovered, reviewing court records for convicted felons in Hillsborough, Sarasota and Manatee, and Hernando and Marion counties, that even within the same judicial circuits, there are differences in how the law is being applied. Though state law says damages shall be based upon the length of the sentence imposed by the court at the time of sentencing, not everyone has the incarceration costs noted when they are sentenced, not like in Citrus County.
It seems wrong.
Is that fair?
Of course not.
Michael Graves is the public defender for Citrus County.
Why is this something you agreed to sit down and talk about?
I was, in looking at the reporting you had done on Shelby's case, it struck me as such an extreme example of the things we're talking about. What people don't hear about are the large number of people who get out of custody, finish their sentence, or committed to turning their life around. And that's what society wants.
When we looked, we saw during a 3-year time period across the whole state, just $80,000 was collected in these fees. What do you make of that?
It doesn't work. I was surprised when I saw that in your reporting. I didn't know until then it was that small a sum of money. What good are we doing? maybe we ought to raise the flag and say, Uncle, this one didn't work.
You got to give people a chance to come out and be right. That was a good deal today.
We're bringing your concerns to state lawmakers as they consider legislation for next session. If this is an issue you want your representative to look into, we've included contact information on our website, abcactionnews.com. With photojournalist Randy Wright, I'm I-Team investigator Kylie McGivern, taking action for you.